Islam places strong emphasis on honesty, sidq, and trustworthiness, amanah, in all aspects of life, especially in financial dealings. In the modern financial system, issues such as fraud, corruption, misuse of funds, and breach of trust have become increasingly prevalent. These unethical practices contradict Sharia principles and undermine social justice and economic stability. Financial dishonesty not only affects individuals but also damages public confidence, institutions, and the image of the Muslim community. Therefore, this presentation examines the issue of dishonesty and lack of trustworthiness in Islamic financial dealings from a Sharia perspective.
Next, I want to talk about identify issues that affect Muslim and require consideration under Sharia law. First, dishonesty in financial dealings such as corruption, fraud, misuse of funds, manipulation of account, and involvement in riba is a major issue faced by Muslims today. Second, this practice contradicts Islamic principle of trustfulness, trust, and justice, which must guide all economic activities. Third, from a Sharia perspective, honesty, transparency, and fairness in financial transactions are religious and legal obligations, not merely moral values. Lastly, in Surah Al-Mutaffin, who to those who give less, who, when they take a measure from people, take in full. But if they give by measure or by weight to them, they cause loss.
My name is Najha Bintu Muta. My matric number is A25P5493. For this slide, I will focus on protecting maslahah and preventing mafsadah in financial practice. One of the main objectives of Maqasid Sharia is the protection of wealth, also known as hifz al-mal. This principle ensures economic justice and stability within society. However, when fraud and dishonesty occur, they do not only result in financial losses, but also damage public trust and disrupt economic balance. Therefore, Sharia strongly promotes honesty and fairness to preserve public interest, which is known as maslahah, and to prevent harm or mafsadah. By practicing transparency and integrity in financial transactions, individuals and organizations can support ethical behavior and contribute to sustainable economic growth. That's all from me. Now I will pass the presentation to Auni for the next slide.
From an Islamic perspective, this issue is significant because Islam emphasizes the principle of trust, which is amanah. Trust is a core Islamic requirement that ensures fairness, honest, and ethical conduct in all financial transactions. In Surah An-Nisa 4:15-8, in Surah that mean which is needed, our command you to return the trust to whom they are due, and when you judge between people, to judge with justify. It needed our give you the best advice. It needed our all hearing, all seeing. Breaching trust damage organizations' reputations and increases the likelihood of internal fraud. Therefore, maintaining trust is both a Sharia responsibility and a professional requirement. Next, we going to the principle of justify in Islamic finances. Justify in a fundamental Sharia principle that ensure fairness and balance in financial transactions. Islamic strictly prohibits fraud, dishonestness, and unjust consumptions of wealth as they lead off to operations and falsehoods. A financial injustice damage public trust, economic stability, and organizations' reputations. Therefore, justify is Islamic financial aim to protect right, prevent exploitations, and also promote transparency and integrity in the market.
Hello, I am Devashini Ashakumar, matric number A25A4655. This slide explains how Islamic moral values are applied in today's modern context, especially in business and finance. Firstly, Islam strongly emphasizes honesty and transparency. In modern businesses, this means providing accurate product descriptions, clear pricing, and truthful information to customers. Secondly, accountability in businesses is very important. Entrepreneurs are responsible not only to customers but also to Allah. Therefore, all transactions should be recorded properly, including digital records, to avoid fraud and injustice. Next is Sharia compliance finance. A Muslim entrepreneur avoids riba by choosing Islamic financing methods that comply with Sharia principles. Another key element is tawakkul in financial conduct. Even when dealing online or privately, ethical behavior must be maintained. This includes fair dealing, fulfilling promises, and avoiding deceptions. Lastly, ethical consumption and education encourage both sellers and buyers make responsible and morally sound financial decisions. For example, a Muslim entrepreneur running an online business ensures transparency in pricing, honest product descriptions, and ethical conduct in all transactions. This shows that Islamic moral values are not outdated but can be practiced effectively within modern financial systems. Next, we are moving to the next slide. On this slide, we will discuss how Islamic law or Sharia is applied in our daily life. Firstly, guidance for the daily life. Sharia provides a framework for Muslims' daily actions covering personal, social, and economic aspects of life. All guidance is based on the Quran and Sunnah. Secondly, worship and personal conduct. Muslims are encouraged to perform daily prayer, fasting, and zakat. Personal conduct also involves cleanliness, discipline, time management, and practicing moral values like honesty, patience, and respect. Thirdly, financial and economic dealings. Islam emphasizes honest earning and free trade. It discourages riba, fraud, and exploitations and encourages transparency in all transactions.
The solution revolves the issue based on Islamic principle. Right, first, strengthening the value of trust, amanah, by emphasizing that betrayal in financial matters is a major sin and act of oppression in Islam. Implementing firm Sharia punishment such as fines, salary deduction, dismissal or removal from position for individual involved in financial misconduct. Enhancing cooperation with authorities like Bank Negara Malaysia and the Security Commission to take legal action against financial irregularities. Promoting accountability, transparency and justice through proper documentation, audits and fair financial practice in line with Islamic principle.
In conclusion, dishonesty in financial transactions can harm both individuals and society. Islam promotes honesty, trust, and justice as essential values in all financial dealings. Ethical finance in Islam is not only a legal duty but also an act of worship that brings Muslims closer to Allah. Sharia principles help prevent fraud and injustice, ensuring transparency and fairness. So, scholars such as Imam Al-Ghazali also emphasize trust and responsibility in ethical practices. By practicing integrity in today's financial system, Muslims can build trust, promote social justice, and contribute to a stable and ethical society. So that's all from us. Thank you.